Hi, guys. Welcome to Box Overtake, the Formula One podcast that brings you a casual but informative glance at this monumental motorsport, through the happenings on the track to everything happening around the pit box. I'm your host, Matt, and today we will be talking about the Miami Sprint Race and Grand Prix. So there was already some drama before the weekend began. First off, Doohan Seat is currently under fire. He may be swapped with Franco Colapinto. Of course, this is over at Alpine. Franco was essentially brought in from Williams, where he replaced Logan Sargent last season, and he did really well. And so it was sort of a no-brainer that if Doohan started to continue to do bad, like he's sort of been doing, or just not getting over a hump, that he would be replaced by Franco. Next, Cadillac also launched its first, I believe, the logo over this weekend, or the Miami Sprint and Grand Prix weekend. And so as they did that, great event. Cadillac's getting ready for their 2026 season as the 11th team on the grid. And there were some Checo Perez supporters out there who effectively are trying to pressure Cadillac into signing him. We'll probably talk about that more next week as we can actually get up into two teams coming in and then maybe some car upgrades, but that's probably next week. And then, of course, the livery game. So the livery is what the cars actually look like during the races on the grid. Of course, all of them have their respective ones that they look like sort of throughout the season, except there are some special liveries that'll come out. For this weekend, Ferrari had a very, in my opinion and most of everybody else's opinion, a rough livery. As you can see on screen, I probably have a graphic up there. If you want to put some blue and white on there, just do the whole thing blue and white. I understand you're still Ferrari and you like red and that's your thing, but man. And then of course Sauber had one, a cool paint looking one. It's crazy that the tractors ended up doing better than Ferrari. And then of course VCarb had the best one, where they had a summer edition Red Bull look to their whole car in Miami. And so that is the weekend stuff. Now we can officially get into the sprint. So, sprint race time. First thing, probably the best, is for the sprint race, Antonelli qualified first or on pole for his first time in his career, and of course this is his first season in Formula One, and considering it's happening race 6 and sprint 2, even if it wasn't an official race, this is very promising for the young Mercedes driver. Hopefully we'll see him more in this season, and hopefully other seasons getting on pole and hopefully winning. As for the start of sprint, Leclerc crashed as he was trying to make it to the finish line. This wasn't the start finish line. This wasn't the formation lap, which was weird. It was wet conditions, and you'll see that in the video that I found, and hopefully is in there. But weird conditions. Wet conditions. Who knows? His car maybe added to that, but he said he wasn't really pushing, and he just ended up in the wall, and effectively that knocked him out of his sprint race. Now, actually, onto the sprint race. Antonelli couldn't keep his starting position, of course. There's another video in there. Oscar Piastri went after him in turn 1 and all of that. So he has still some maturing to do, but it's still promising that he started on pole. Also, Antonelli and Verstappen collided in an unsafe release. That was from Verstappen's mechanics. It should be fairly easy to see in another video that I have in here. This also goes to say that all these videos I'm putting forward are from the official F1 YouTube channel on the highlights. Hopefully I won't get sued or copyright struck, but we will see. I just wanted to throw that in there, give a better look at what's going on. And then, of course, Norris got lucky in his pit stop in the sprint race. Of course, this isn't a normal thing, but since they were in wet conditions and on intermediates and wets, those tend to age and degrade faster. So ultimately, they had to make a pit stop, or they had to call a pit stop, and then also it was getting drier, so everybody was changing to slicks. So Norris got a very lucky pit stop, just like he did in the Miami Grand Prix last year, and a safety car happened almost immediately, and that was due to Alonso crashing into a wall. I believe Lawson was the one that sort of helped him along into the wall, but anyway, Alonso ended up crashing into the wall. There's probably a video of that. Luckily, he was okay. Car, on the other hand, was not. So that seems to be the best thing from the sprint. Oh, yes. Norris won that. I don't currently have the top 3, and I'm having to record this very quickly because the batteries on both of my things are dead, and I only have one charger for both. So anyway, that's a sprint, and on to the Grand Prix. So Grand Prix started. Verstappen started on pole. Then the two McLarens were, of course, behind him. Norris got off to a rough start, but he ended up like battling his way up to the front. That was, of course, always fun. But really, it was more like towards the end of the race that we got to see things. Of course, like Jack Doohan punctured a tire early in the race, and he had to retire. But everything else was fairly chill until the end of the race. Norris, of course, both Piastri and Norris overtook Verstappen. Piastri overtook Verstappen way easier than Norris did. There'll be like videos to sort of show this. Norris on his first attempt on the same corner. Piastri got past on his first attempt on that same corner. Norris tried, but they both went off, as you'll see in the video, and then he finally got it on the second corner. This shows, of course, that Norris can't pass Verstappen as easily as Piastri can, although Piastri is the more inexperienced driver since this is his third season and this is Norris's fifth or sixth, which is a little surprising. But anyway, that's just one thing I noticed. There are multiple retirements due to power unit fails or fuel line issues, which was very odd, but among those seem to be the cars powered by Ferrari power units. It's just a rough week for Ferrari. Yeah. That's probably because I believe Leclerc ended up third in last race, so Ferrari's balancing itself out again. Anyway, of course, near the end of the race, there's more things with Ferrari drama and strategy fails as Lewis Hamilton was behind Leclerc. Leclerc had hard tires. Hamilton had medium tires that were younger, and Hamilton had like a lot of pace behind Leclerc, but for some odd reason they weren't allowed to race. That racing between teammates is sort of like determined by the team to say when you can do it. Of course, there were signs behind him in a Williams, so he possibly could have capitalized if the two crashed or if one made a bad move, of course. But anyway, there's a back and forth on the radios. Lewis ended up saying, "Hey, let me pass." They eventually let him pass. By the time he passed, he essentially probably the consensus is he probably burned up his tires behind the dirty air of Leclerc in first as they were in like sort of a DRS train to try and make sure Sainz didn't catch them. But anyway, Leclerc ended up having the pace, and then they reestablished the order, and there was a bunch of radio calls back and forth. Lewis got a little sassy at the end, but I'm not throwing audio in to try and not get copyright striked. So you might need to go watch that or like go look clips up by yourself. They were sort of funny, but other than that, Piastri won the race. There was Norris in second, and George Russell in third. He has finished top 5, effectively doing nothing except for that one race where his Mercedes was completely falling apart. Other than that, currently, at least in driver's standings, it is currently Piastri, Norris, and then I believe Verstappen or Russell, or they're both really close in points together down there, Verstappen and Russell, but Piastri's definitively leading the driver's championship because he has won officially 3 in a row now, and I really think, at least from the start, and if nothing weird happens throughout the rest of the season, he may actually steal the driver's championship from Lando. Yeah. At least I like the Aussie better than the Brighton. But other than that, that's pretty much the end of the episode. So if you like this episode, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It'll help us out greatly. I've had a great time making these videos. I hope y'all have a great time watching them. And as for like the next video, nothing's really happening the weekend that I am filming this, or ahead of this filming. So we'll see what next video is, but I'm probably going to talk about Cadillac and probably some of the new car regulations for the next video. So be sure to check that out next time. And since I am officially now out of finals week, hopefully I'll be able to promote and help with stuff on the social media so everybody knows more about what's happening. So I will see you guys all next time.